The Oklahoma City fans are mad at me. They think I bring up the James Harden trade too much, Jalen. Can you bring up that trade enough?
Have to run the show, but for most NBA teams, wings are the thing. Here's some of the best shooting guards out there. Many thought James Harden would come out last year. The sophomore from Arizona State averaged over 20 points and shot nearly 49% from the field. He was a first-team All-American.
With the third pick in the 2009 NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select James Harden of Arizona State University.
looking. Finds Westbrook, puts it up at the buzzer, off the rim, and the Lakers win and advance to the...
Terry playing off the ball. Dequan Cook, the three-point shooter in the game. They throw it to Durant. A long three. Off the rim, won't go. Cook tries to save him. He does. Back up to Durant. Harden sets, puts up the three. That misses. Back on the rebound. Harden comes away. And the Dallas Mavericks are going back to the NBA Finals.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are headed to the NBA Finals. The first time since their move.
LeBron James captures that elusive title he so desperately coveted.
Mark, did this surprise you, or did the people in the inner circles of the NBA see this coming?
Not this soon, because the deadline for an extension for Harden is Wednesday night at midnight. All the first-rounders from the class of 2009 have until midnight at Wednesday to try to get extensions done. The Thunder and Harden, they've been going at this all month. The Thunder were well aware that teams like the Houston Rockets, the Dallas Mavericks, the Phoenix Suns, and others were all prepared to offer Harden the max if he made it all the way to being a restricted free agent on July 1st. So the Thunder basically knew they were going to try to get a deal done this month. but they didn't want to give Harden the max. Their position was everyone who's re-signed here has sacrificed a little something, even Durant, even Russell Westbrook, so they were looking for Harden to be willing to take a little less than the max to stay. When the sides couldn't come to terms, we know Sam Presti, the Thunder GM, is pretty decisive, so he turned around quickly and today started working on trades. And the Rockets, their interest in James Harden has been known for quite a long time, so they were able to consummate a deal with Houston pretty quickly. But I think around the league, the expectation would have been that the Thunder would have at least tried to take this all the way to Wednesday and see if they could get a deal done. But Sam Presti decided not to wait.
No more six-man for him. He'll start with Jeremy Lin in the Houston backcourt. In your mind, Mark, and for people you talk around the league, how does this affect Oklahoma City's power rankings in the Western Conference and how they deal with the other teams in the West, especially the Lakers?
Well, they got a lot here for Harden. There's no question. They're getting multiple first-round picks. They're getting Kevin Martin, who is a very accomplished scorer. They're getting Jeremy Lamb, who is a kid a lot of people liked in this draft. But the chemistry that Durant, Westbrook, and Harden had as a trio, as much as those three guys love playing together, I mean, this is going to be a major shock to Oklahoma City's system that James Harden, all of a sudden, 2-3 days before the season started, is gone. The conventional wisdom again was, okay, maybe they won't come to an extension by Wednesday's deadline, but then the Thunder can play this season out, keeping their team intact, and deal with this in the summertime. You let Harden become a restricted free agent, decide if you want to match one of these max offers, maybe let somebody else go to try to make financial room to keep Harden. They could have bought themselves time if they let this thing go past Halloween, but they decided not to. They decided to jump on a pretty big offer that they could get now. So, again, decisive move. You have to give the Thunder points for being decisive. We saw the same thing with Jeff Green and Kendrick Perkins a couple years ago. But Harden is a different case. He's so close with those guys. You have to ask yourself, what is this going to do to their locker room? How long is it going to take the Thunder to kind of deal with the shock of this move?
GMs are paid to make difficult and decisive decisions, and that was made tonight in Oklahoma City. Thank you so much, Mark.
The Thunder give up James Harden, Cole Aldridge, Lazier Hayward, and Dan Kwon Cook to the Rockets for Kevin Martin, Jeremy Lamb, a 2013 first-round pick from Toronto, which they used for Steven Adams.
With the 12th pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Steven Adams from Rotorua, New Zealand, and the University of Pittsburgh.
The big fella from New Zealand, a virtual unknown until Pitt found him. And now he is the 12th pick in the NBA draft and on his way to Oklahoma City. Is this a good pick to get value for the Harden deal?
Well, at this point, you're looking at guys who could translate into a playoff series. This is an energy guy. Like, we've seen these guys succeed in a playoff series. And also, like, everybody loves his personality. I mean, people were talking about him like it was Eddie Murphy circa 1983. It's a funny interview.
And if people are wondering just who is Steven Adams, he is from New Zealand, as you heard Commissioner Stern mention. He's one of 18 kids. His sister, in fact, has won a couple of gold medals in the shot put. His sister, Valerie. Males in the Adams clan average 6'9", females 6 feet. His dad grew up in Britain but got teased because he was so big and ended up moving to New Zealand, made the Big East All-Rookie team, and during workouts leading up to the draft showed a facet of the game to be able to hit some shots that we really didn't see as a Panther.
And he was a top 5 high school recruit a year ago, so you got to factor that in too.
Yeah, he fits the suit. I mean, he's got an NBA body. He's a really good athlete. He's big and strong, and he can rebound. He didn't get a ton of reps. He didn't play a bunch of minutes for Jamie Dixon at Pittsburgh, but per 40 minutes, he grabs 11 rebounds per game. And in those 11 rebounds per 40 minutes, 5.5 of them are offensive rebounds, so he can get stickbacks. He's a good athlete. He's got decent hands. He really struggled this last year from the free throw line. He only made 44% of his free throws, but he's got a better touch than that. I just don't think he played enough, and he hadn't played enough basketball. You give him some time to develop, and you could have something pretty good on your hands, but he needs some time to develop. He's not going to get it right away, but he's physical. He's not afraid to bang bodies, and he's one of those guys that He can fight for position down on the low post. He's got the bulk and the strength to do that.
And there's been a lot of discussion of what to do with Kendrick Perkins, whether they're going to amnesty or keep him. He's got a little older, slowed down a little bit defending his position. Now they have a young 7-footer that could possibly play a lot of those minutes.
A 2013 pick, which originally belonged to the Mavericks.
With the 21st pick in the 2014 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Mitch McGary from the University of Michigan.
John Beilein is head coach of Michigan, celebrating. McGary only.
The Lakers, trying to acquire CP3, failed to do so, and Lamar Odom got mad. So the Lakers gave up Lamar Odom, a second-round pick, and the Mavericks' option to swap picks in the second round for the Mavericks' 2012 first-round pick, which was protected in the top 20, is now the 2014 first-round pick for the Thunder, and almost $9 million. So the Bobcats trade their second-round pick to the Thunder for Mullins. The Thunder give it to Boston for Jeff Green's heart condition. The Celtics use it for the Lee trade, and Houston gives it back in this trade. So the Rockets gave up Jordan Hill to the Lakers for Derek Fisher, who never played for them, and the Mavericks' first-round pick. The Rockets gave up Kyle Lowry to the Raptors for Gary Forbes and a 2013 first-round pick, which was protected in the top 3 and 15 through 30 in 2013, but it was the 12th pick, so yeah. Once they got Cole Aldridge, they shipped him with Patterson and Douglas to the Kings for Thomas Robinson, the 5th overall pick in the previous draft, Francisco Garcia, my Dominican favorite, and Tyler Honeycutt. They traded Thomas Robinson to the Trailblazers for, I can't read those names, and 2 second-round picks. And for anybody who thinks Kevin Martin left free agency, the Thunder gave him up with cash for the rights to Zion, I can't pronounce that, and a trade exemption.
James Harden is the best shooting guard potentially in the NBA, and he's playing for another team.
What went wrong, Jalen?
Got to get a youngster some culture, that's all.
What went wrong? Why didn't they keep James Harden?
Planning.
Because they were cheap asses.